There were an estimated 1.38 million suicide attempts in 2019 in the United States.
In 2021, 38% of Kansas preteens and teenagers have had feelings of sadness or hopelessness.
Nearly 30% of Kansas students have thought about killing themselves.
In 2019, about 9% of American high school students attempted suicide.
More than 1 in 3 students and nearly half of female students reported persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness in 2019.
17% of youth experienced a mental health disorder.
More than 450 Kansas 15-year-olds have reported having attempted suicide.
1 in 8 of all visits to U.S. emergency departments are related to mental and substance use disorders.
47,500 Americans died by suicide in 2019.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for students in the middle school through college in the United States.
Across the country, more teenagers and young adults die from suicide than from cancer, heart disease, AIDS, birth defects, stroke, pneumonia, influenza, and chronic lung disease combined.
90% of people who die by suicide had shown symptoms of mental health condition according to interviews with family, friends, and medical professionals.
70% of youth in the juvenile justice system have at least one mental health condition.
In 2019, about 16% of high school students had made a suicide plan. Female students were more likely to make a suicide plan than male students.
Just under 300 11-year-olds in Kansas have reported having attempted suicide.
Female students were nearly twice as likely as male students to make a suicide plan in 2019.
Black students in America are more likely to attempt suicide than white students.
Lesbian, gay, and bisexual youth are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than straight youth.
Transgender people are 12 times more likely to attempt suicide than the general population.
In 2019, about 19% of American high school students had seriously considered attempting suicide.
In 2019, about 3% of American high school students were injured in a suicide attempt.
50% of all lifetime mental illness begins by age 14.
American elementary through high school students with mental, emotional, or behavioral concerns are 3 times more likely to repeat a grade.
High school students with significant symptoms of depression are more than twice as likely to drop out compared to their peers.
Suicidal thoughts are a symptom just like any other and can be treated and improved over time.
In 2020, nearly 68% of communities in the U.S. did not have enough mental health providers to serve its residents.
Kansas is in the top third of highest suicide rates in the U.S.
Evidence shows healthcare professionals have a key role in the identification of suicidal risks among the youth, but are often faced with many challenges along the way. That's why the KU Area Health Education Center and the Johnson County Mental Health Center have partnered together to create Youth Suicide using a team-based collaborative approach for early identification and next steps. This new 4-part webinar series has been developed to guide health professionals on how to take a team-based approach to early identification of youth suicide risks and the next steps that can be taken. Together, we can all be part of the process to turn these statistics around. To learn more about this webinar series, visit the link on the screen or call the KU Area Health Education Center at 620-235-4040.